Welcome! Today, we are going to unlock a really simple, science-backed secret to finally conquer that post-meal energy crash and, believe it or not, transform your long-term health. And it all starts with just one small movement right after you eat. Okay, so let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we all know way too well. That dreaded post-meal slump. You know, you have a great, satisfying lunch, and then suddenly, all you want to do is find a couch and take a nap. Sound familiar? Well, that feeling is usually caused by something called a glucose spike, which basically creates a wild roller coaster ride inside your body. So whenever you eat foods that are high in carbs and sugars, I'm talking about things like bread, pasta, rice, or, a sweet treat, they can just flood your bloodstream with glucose all at once. That super fast increase, that is what we call a glucose spike. And listen, these spikes aren't just about feeling tired. They trigger inflammation in your body, they spark these intense cravings for even more sugar as your energy crashes, and over time, they seriously increase our risk for chronic diseases. So flattening these spikes isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely essential. So, how do we fight back? What if I told you the secret weapon is already built right into your body? It is. It's your muscles. The real key is found deep inside your muscle cells, in these little powerhouses called mitochondria. You can think of them like tiny energy factories just waiting around for fuel. And the process is just beautifully simple. As soon as you start moving after a meal, your muscles contract and they start demanding energy. So to get that energy, their mitochondria just pull that excess glucose straight from your bloodstream to use as instant fuel. And just like that, they shrink the spike before it ever gets out of control. Okay, so let's get practical. Here are 4 incredibly simple ways you can put this science into action. I like to call them exercise snacks. First up, this first method is so discreet, you can do it right at your desk, and I promise nobody will even notice. It's the simple calf raise. You just sit with your feet flat on the floor and lift your heels up and down. That's it. And the effect is, well, it's stunning. Just look at this chart. On that top row, you can see the huge glucose spike you get from eating a donut all by itself. But now, look at the bottom row. That's the same donut, but this time it's followed by just 10 minutes of calf raises. And that dangerous spike, it's dramatically flattened. But why is this so effective? Well, it's because there's a special muscle in your calf called the soleus. And studies have found that it is uniquely designed to just soak up glucose from the bloodstream without needing a whole lot of its own energy. It's almost like having a dedicated glucose sponge in your leg. Okay, let's move on to a classic that science has proven time and again to be incredibly effective. Just a simple post-meal walk. And you don't need some grueling workout. All you need is 10 minutes. That's it. A short little stroll within about 90 minutes of eating is enough to make a huge difference. Let's look at another one, a poke bowl. They're delicious, but they're often packed with rice, which creates that high spike you see on the top. But add in a simple 10-minute walk, and then look at the bottom graph, that spike is significantly smaller. The difference is night and day. Our third option engages your larger muscle groups, which gives you an even more powerful effect. We're talking about simple air squats. And get this, one really fascinating study found that doing just a few air squats here and there was actually more effective at managing glucose than going for a single 30-minute walk. That's how powerful it is to engage those big leg muscles. And finally, for our 4th exercise snack, you can turn your daily tidying into a powerful health hack. This is all about making your daily routine work for you. Look at this. Our donut is back, creating that familiar big spike. But if you follow it with just 15 minutes of an active chore, like vacuuming, look what happens. The spike becomes so much smaller. Folding laundry, unloading the dishwasher, it all counts. But there is an even more important benefit happening here, kind of beneath the surface. See, it's not just about flattening the curve. It's about how your body is doing it. And this is what we can call the insulin advantage. So here's the crucial point. Normally, your body releases the hormone insulin to deal with all that excess glucose. But constantly forcing these big insulin surges can lead to major problems down the line, like insulin resistance. But when you use your muscles, they burn that glucose for energy directly without needing all that extra insulin. You're basically giving your body a break and helping it work way more efficiently. So where do you start? This isn't about starting some complex new fitness routine. No, this is about taking one small, totally manageable first step after your very next meal. The best approach is always the simplest one. Just choose one of these movements, the calf raises, the walk, the squats, or a chore, and just commit to trying it after your very next meal. The power to stabilize your energy, to curb your cravings, and to protect your long-term health is literally just one step, one squat, or one calf raise away. So the only question left is this: what small move will you make today?